Hey guys, what's up? What's good? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Dammy back again with another video. Subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I hope you've been enjoying the rest of my videos. Thank you for liking, for sharing, for subscribing. I really do appreciate you. And if you are a newcomer, I am Dammy, and on this channel I create lifestyle, faith and beauty videos. If you like what you see here and you'd want to see more, then do check out my channel, and I'm sure there'll be so much more videos that would bless you. So without further ado, let's get right into today's video. So today's video, I want to share some tips about how to save. How to save in general. I guess you can apply this to anything, but in particular, how to save for your first property. I'm going to share with you how I save, what was effective for me, and it may be effective for you as well. There are many different ways and options on how to save out there. So please do your research to ensure that you are well versed with everything that is available to you, because there are lots of resources, lots of accounts that you can open. But these are the ones I'm aware of. These are the ones I know of from learning about it and also from experience. Okay, so let's talk about how to save for property. How to save, particularly for your first property, because when you have your first one, I'm going on to the second, third, fourth, however many number you are planning on, may become a bit easier, because obviously you can leverage on your first property, or you can just save again from scratch and learn from your mistakes or your good habits from the first time. So this will be particularly for first time buyers. Again, I always start with this because I truly believe it's quite important in achieving a goal, and that is changing your mindset. You have to believe that it's possible. You have to have at the back of your mind that I can do this, and it's possible for me to. No matter what the circumstances may look like, in favor of myself or not in favor, I know that I can achieve this goal. It's just a matter of time. I just need to dedicate time and effort, and by the grace of God, it should come to pass. And obviously, as a Christian as well, committing your plans and your ways to the Lord and ensuring that, He's aware, and He's, He's always going to be aware, but you've invited Him into your plan so that He can breathe life into it. Our efforts can only get us so far, but to sustain us for the long run, you really need the power of the Holy Spirit to help you. Just wanted to get those core foundational mindsets drilled into our brains. Yes. First, now going into the second point would be have your desired goal or your desire written down, right? And you can split this into two. Obviously, your desire to get on the property ladder, to own a home or a house or whatever it may be, and the goal of what you're trying to save. The amount that you're going for. It's very important to have a vision in sight. It's very important to write it down so that you can see it, probably where you can see it. I recently got myself like a display board, and I usually pin things on. So if you can get one of that, just one of those wooden ones, and you can pin your post-it notes to it, or on your phone where you can see it. And why do I say this? For me, it's not something I actively did. It was something I mentally thought of doing, right? But going back, it's something I definitely would actively, I had an idea. Let me not say that. I was very aware of how much I needed to have before I even go into the process. There are various different numbers you might want to aim for. So I had the numbers that I know that, okay, if push comes to shove, if I have to start this now, then I need this certain number. If I want to wait a wee bit and save more, maybe this number. Do you get what I mean? So I had different numbers for different timelines. But I remember when I had finished all the process with my first property, and I don't know how it came about, because I wrote it way before the time. It was about a year or 2 years. I wrote it in my iPhone notes, and it was more of a declaration standing on the word of God that at this age and this year, I will, by the grace of God, have gotten on the property ladder. And I found that after I got my property. And funny enough, the time and the desire I wrote down came to pass even before that. So when you have things written down, you can go back to it. You can always look at it. Most importantly, it just helps your testimony encourage other people more, because obviously at the time when the dream started or that desire started, it may have not you may not have been sure as to how it would happen, but you just trusted that it will. And looking back, because your iPhone notes, if you haven't tampered with the notes, it stamps the last time you went into it, and mine was like a year or two before the date I saw it again. And I really was very timely, because I couldn't have guessed that it was there. And it really just widened my gratitude to the Lord after I saw that. So it's very important, it's very key. Visually it helps us when you see the goal. Obviously, I feel like maybe I could have even saved more if I saw it somewhere. Did you get every day? I saw my phone or something. But for me, I had it at the back of my mind. But if I had to change and use a new strategy, I'll definitely put it in sight, where it's where I can see the vision, or at least have a stamped number in my head, so that I know what I'm working towards. And when I'm about to spend money unnecessarily, I know how much that money could have contributed to my goal if I spend it now. Does that make sense? So having a desired goal and writing it down is very important. When you now know your goal, you have an idea, the next thing to do would be to open a savings account. This would require a lot of research, again, as to which savings account you go for. There are many different options out there that you can find. But it boils down to high interest savings account. So you want to put your money in a savings account that would yield interest. And they are normal, all savings accounts have some sort of interest to it, but they are ones that are known for being higher. And you do get some savings account that gives you about 7% interest. That is like, what? Those ones, obviously it comes with clauses such as you can't touch the money for a period of time, and this also helps your discipline. So I'll definitely go for an account that I can lock my money away, that where I put my money in, I can't touch it. That definitely helped me. I saved in an ISA. I saved in a lifetime ISA. The benefit of that was the government bonus. If you haven't got a lifetime ISA, I would definitely recommend it. You can either use it towards your first property, your first residential property. Residential is key. Your first residential property, or retirement. So usually if you put money into that account and you want to take it out for anything that is not those two reasons, you will be penalized and probably lose more money than you have put into the account. So if you're sure that this is definitely something you want to do, then going to one of these banks that offer a high interest savings, definitely, at least you know that over time you're saving money, but also you're also going to get a profit from it. And obviously inflation, so that your money would still be worth something, whenever you're ready to buy, because £10,000 today is not £10,000 tomorrow. So do research, watch lots of YouTube videos, check Google Our Friend, and ensure that you have seen the wide range of options, and go with the best one for you. I use Moneybox when I use my LISA. I believe there are a couple other providers, but Moneybox, a lot of people use that and has found to be great. Is to have a budget. It's so important for you to have a budget. I say this, and I'm really saying this to myself now as well. I really, really, really don't like budgets. I don't know. I'm still kind of growing into it, but they are very good. And even if I say I don't like budget, I always kind of have an idea of how my money is split and how I am percentaging my money. Some people, if you're like me, that doesn't like budgeting, then, find a way to ensure that you are still on top of your finances. You're aware of what's going in, what's coming out, but budgeting does help. So the reason I struggle with it is because if I want to eat something, I'm gonna eat it. Yeah. And it's not even like eating out. It's more like cooking. Like, I know I put down, let's say, a certain percentage for my food, a certain amount for my food per month. But if I want to eat beans this month and I want to eat rice next week, I don't know. Food is just something I have found very difficult to budget. I just feel like that's just one of the things I choose to eat when I can, kind of thing. And I suppose I have a mental idea that I'm not spending a ridiculous amount on food. But again, in saying that, you never know until you actually calculate it and see it on paper and look back and you're like, damn, I spent money. But I don't really eat out. Eating out is not my thing. If I'm getting a takeaway or going out, then it's probably once in a while if I'm going out with friends or if it's something I'm really craving and I feel like I deserve to do that. I don't have to count the cost for that. But you never know. Maybe in the future I might come back and say something different. But that's just me. And every other area I kind of know what my funds are and where it's going, particularly when you have a goal. That's why it's so important to have a goal, because when you have a goal in mind, you are more likely to push your money towards that and say, actually, nah, I don't need meat pie today. Let me put that £2 closer to my goal. Because you know that you're getting there and you're seeing the money kind of, reach that peak. So it's important to have a goal and it's important to create a budget. It's going back to what I said in a video a while ago of creating systems and having strategies in place. If you want to save £10,000, that is just not going to happen if you don't put strategies in place. If you don't say, okay, firstly, what is my time frame period? When am I looking to purchase? If it's in a year's time, if it's in 10 months time, then you're saving £1,000 per month. If it's in 12 months time, obviously it's lower than that. So based on what you can afford, you need to look at your income, your cash flow, what is going towards your expenses, what can you then reserve in your savings, and you need to be very honest about that, and that would help you form your budget, because you don't want a budget forming that then becomes too restrictive, that you find the process a bit dampening. Obviously it's a season, it probably would be a season of sacrifice anyway, but you don't want it to be where you feel like a chokehold. I don't know, some people like that, but I still think in the midst of every journey, it's about the journey, right? You don't want to then be looking like bread just because you're trying to buy a house in a year or so. But if that works for you, that works for you, right? So obviously you don't want to do luxurious things like going on holiday every single time. Reduce your holiday, or if anything, none at all for the time being. Reduce your eating out and whatnot. But just know where you'd rather. Different people have different interests, where you'd rather spend your money on, where you feel like, actually I want to continue enjoying my life and creating memories, and I don't want to completely cut money out of this area. So again, depends on you, but you have to just be honest as to what you can sacrifice and what you can't sacrifice, and that should help to create a budget overall. And on that note, in terms of saving more, you have to earn more. You have to look for a way to increase your income if you really want to. Some people are just fine with where they are currently, wherever they started their goal, and then they just work around that. But it would be nice to know that, okay, obviously I have a strategy for my salary. However, if I get income from here, from there, I know that would be nice as well. Because it's surprise money, and it's helping me get to my goal even quicker than I thought, or than I calculated. So what does that look like? That looks like probably negotiating for a higher salary. Yeah, we'll learn the skills of negotiation and negotiating the higher salary as you're good at your craft, as you're excellent in your work, and you feel like you deserve more. Because the truth is, most companies probably don't pay you what you're worth. They just pay you what they believe they can get away with for the goodness of your talent. So you have every right to always stand on negotiations. You have to have grounds, right? You don't just come and say, I want more money. Why do you want more money? Is it getting too much? Are you short staffed? Have you increased in skill and you feel like you're worth more? You need to have something to present. But negotiating a higher salary is always a good idea. You don't need to do anything more than that. An alternative would be obviously maybe applying for a new job that pays more in a higher role. You don't exactly owe anybody anything, so just look out and see where you can spread your tentacles. And the most common one would be like freelancing and doing work with your skills, the works of your hands. So whether that's makeup, whether that's photography, videography, chefing, whatever that may be, tailoring, babysitting, just whatever you can do when you've got free time to be able to make money with your time. So have that at the back of your mind to just increase some sort of your income stream if you can. If you can't, then we work with what we have and make the best of it and still be assured that it's possible. Yeah, that it's only for a short time. And usually, when that is done, you feel the greatest relief and obviously a great sense of achievement. I didn't go on my first holiday until I bought my first property. And I really enjoyed that holiday because I felt like I'd traveled in the past before that, but that was just like, a couple of like weekend trips here and there, staying with friends and whatnot. But this time I said, I'm going on holiday. Yeah, thank you so much. I deserve it. Yeah. So it can wait, especially if your timeline is short. If your timeline is in the long run and you're just trying to adapt, saving and budgeting to your lifestyle till then obviously you might need to leave room to still live life because you never know what's going to happen. I would say try and make choices that are beneficial. There's no need to buy luxury stuff at that point in time when you have a goal in mind. There's no need to be spending on designer until we have some sort of cash flow coming in regularly. You want to, if possible, reduce your rent. So obviously this is a bit more hectic and probably not the first choice for most people, but if you know that there are cheaper rent options out there, then you can maybe go for that. But like I said, rent is usually quite a difficult one because obviously you need to pack up and leave. Nobody has time for that. So your other expenses, whether that's your internet, whether that's your utilities, maybe going for cheaper providers, or a cheaper package for the time being, again, like I said, just to all aid in achieving this goal. And most importantly, like I said in the beginning, just be sure and have faith and be confident that this is possible. If many people can do it, you can do it as well. You are capable. You are more than capable to hit that goal. You're more than capable to get on the ladder if that is your wish. Just be honest with yourself, be honest with your goals, be honest with your earnings, and make a realistic yet challenging timeline and goal that would aid you in reaching this goal. Ensure you ask questions, ask people about the people that have been through that journey, what they would recommend, what providers they would recommend, and all of that good stuff. And I would also say during this journey, what also helps in putting the vision right in front of you is learning about it, watching lots of videos, asking lots of questions, so that when the time comes, when you are saving, most of the times for high interest rates, you would need to lock your money away. But before doing that, ensure that you have some sort of access to liquid cash as well. So you have an emergency fund of some sort that you can have access to just in case of emergencies or when you need money, because you can't touch a good bulk of your money that you're putting away for a good reason. So have that in mind. And also when you are creating your goal and your realistic figure, also consider all of the extra costs that come into attaining property. We can talk about that in another video if you want to know some of the extra costs that are lingering around that they don't tell you. So your deposit is one thing, but there are a few other things that you need to pay for. So give yourself a buffer of, plus a certain percentage of your deposit, just so that you can actually complete the process and complete it and finish well. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helps you. I hope these tips are useful, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye, guys.